Hello everyone, welcome to Exploring Tarot. My name is Sandi and this is the wrap-up video for May. Again, the month has gone past so quickly, but I feel like I've managed to do quite a lot anyway. I never quite know what order to do these things in, these categories I mean, so I'm just gonna wing it as usual because I have not been planning this much. I've written down a little bit, like a few little notes so that I will remember to mention some things, but other than that, let's just go. Memory wise, I went home to visit my family last week. Had a couple of days off work and went home to see my sister and her little girl, my niece, and then I also went to see my mum briefly, and then my dad. I went to help him out a little bit with, since my granddad died, we are now cleaning out the house and, dividing everything and sorting everything out. And while we were there, a few things were given to me as mementos of my grandma and granddad, and one of those things were this little brass teapot thing that I found. It's mainly just for decoration, but I thought maybe I could use it for, I don't know, burning incense or something. I thought that was very cute. Another thing was that there was a bunch of crocheted tablecloths that my grandmother has made at some point, and I got to pick and choose the ones that I wanted, and I'm not going to show them all. I'm just going to show a couple of them, and this was one of them. And then we also have this linen tablecloth that she's embroidered that I thought was very nice. And yeah, I'll show you one more, and then that will have to be it. There's so many of them that I took home with me, but this is another one. You'll be seeing them on my channel because I'll be using them as I am filming and stuff. But here's the lot. I'm just gonna put them somewhere safe. So this one here is also one of the tablecloths that my grandma has made that I decided to use for this video, and I wanted to show you the little trinkets that I got from my grandma's a little bit more up close as well. So here's the little teapot, and then I also got this. It's an egg cup, but I thought it was so pretty that I might use it for something on my altar. I don't know what yet, maybe to hold a crystal or something. And then my dad also gave me these. They were my grandma's, and it's amber, a pair of amber earrings. And these ones are just so precious. I love them so much. I hope you can see properly what they look like. It's a bit dark. I also got some, cutlery and cups and plates and stuff that nobody wanted anymore. But I also went through a bunch of my old boxes from my childhood home that had been stored there at my granddad's place, and I found some really funny things from my childhood, from my teenage years. One of them being my old crystal Bible book that that I had as a teenager, and I was so happy when I found it. And then I came home and I thought, but hang on, didn't I re-buy this because I thought I'd lost it? And it turns out I had. I thought it was maybe the second volume that I'd bought or something, but no, it's the exact same book, just a different edition. So now I've got two. We'll probably give away the second one that I showed you, because I really want to keep the one that I had as a teenager. Other things that I found in the boxes were these, like this agate slab wind chime I found that I had in my teenage room, and I hung it up in the window there. And then I also found these gorgeous agate slabs that I had in my room. There's a few of them. This one's really cool, and then this one. Big pink. Let's put those away, shall we? Oh yeah, and then I also found this moss agate in a bag, and really happy about that. While I was there, I also gathered some pine cones and some leaves. The leaves are being pressed at the moment in a book down there, but I treated the pine cones in the oven so that I could use them as decoration. Oh, they smell amazing. So I'm just walking around sniffing pine cones here at home now. Thrift store finds. I was also in a couple of thrift stores this month, and one of them I found this like little swan bowl, I suppose. It was only like 40 cents, and I'm so chuffed. The wing has a little chip there, but I thought I could keep it that way and you won't really see it. And at first I was like, what should I use this for? And then I thought maybe it can actually store a deck. But I haven't actually tried it yet, so I guess we're trying it now on camera. And it would work, but it gets back heavy and then it tips over. So, meh. It will have to hold something else, maybe a few crystals or something. The second thing I found in a thrift store is a really good find that I'm so happy about. I'm just going to grab it. And that is this little, what should you call it, like mini desk of drawers that I am keeping on another table, another chest of drawers in my bedroom, and I'm keeping my jewelry in here. I also found these at a flea market, so this is also another thrift store find, and I thought I've been trying to find candle holders that has this small hole so that I can use them for my altar, because I have spell candles that I can't use because I didn't have a proper holder. But now I found these and I'm really happy about that. So I thought you can also put like crystals or herbs or something in the dishes here around the candles. So those I'm really happy about. Another thing that I found in the thrift store is this little jar that I'm using to keep my favorite crochet hooks close by. That was my thrift store finds. Another thing that I've done actually this month is that I reorganized my tarot stash, my tarot library, and all the books surrounding that. I took out all of my decks and all of my books, and because I had them in various different places, and decided that I need a nice place to put them, and I did some reorganizing overall. I donated a bunch of books to some charity shops so that I could make some space in my actual bookshelves back here. And yeah, I organized it so that I put all the tarot guidebooks and the tarot decks on one shelf, and then I put all the regular tarot books and oracle decks on another shelf, and then on the top shelf I have all of the big box sets and also some purgatory decks, and then I have in a little wooden drawer, or like a little wooden box, I have all of the decks that I store in deck bags at the moment. I also decided to decorate the shelves a little bit just to make it a cozy little space for them. And I'm really in love with how it turned out. It's so much fun to see all of my decks at once, and just really no deck overwhelm anymore, because now I realize I don't really have that many decks. I haven't counted them yet, but I have an overview of everything I've got. I know where they all are, and yeah, really happy that I did that. And it's really easy to keep nice and organized, and yeah, something I'm really happy I did this month, definitely. Another thing that I did this month was I bought a bunch of yarn so that I can make all of those lovely tarot bags that I've been doing. So just to show you a little bit about of how much yarn I've been buying, here is the box full of yarn that I've bought this month just for you guys. So yeah, I have quite a lot of supplies to make some bags for you, and let's go and have a look at the bags that I actually have made this month. So I've been preparing for opening up my Etsy shop. The Etsy shop now has a name. It's called Rowanleaf Creations, and I will link the shop down below. And I've been crocheting as much as I've been able to whenever I felt like it, and so far there's only one bag of each kind, so it's like only one person can get each bag, but I do have enough yarn to make a couple of duplicates as well at some point. But I thought I would start with maybe the sunflower bags, since those are the ones that seem to be very popular. So this is one color that I've made this month. Just this rusty brick red sunflower pouch. And then they all seem, I've been trying to make different sizes, but most of them fit standard size tarot. Then we also have one in a mossy green color, like so, and this one has a different stitch on the back. You can see here 2 different stitches, or like the pouch part has a different stitch. And then we also have 2 more colors of the sunflower bag. So this is a purple one that I made 2 days ago, and then also a pink one that I made yesterday. And these ones both have the same. I've really come to love this stitch here for this bag as well. So, and these ones I've made a little bit bigger, so this one can definitely fit a standard size plus, kind of like an indie deck size thickness, even a little bit bigger than that as well. And so can this one. I think I've reached quite a good size in these ones. Some of the earlier ones are quite precisely measured for just a regular standard tarot size, and will fit them well. But anything that's thicker than our standard mass market tarot size will be a little bit more difficult because it will be tight. Luckily, crocheted bags do stretch quite well, so you can put them in there quite easily and it will be fine. And they will stretch the more you use them as well, especially if you stretch them like forcibly. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, I think I've reached quite a good, because you can, it's fine for the bag to be slightly too big as well, because then it's just easier to take them out of the bag. So yeah, that's the sunflower bags that I've made this month. Oops. Then we also have some other designs that I've made. Here's a regular plain mossy green button bag with this really lovely burnt button here. So you can open that easily like so. And this one, with these bags, I've decided I'm going to include a small piece of the yarn fabric, so that if you decide to put a smaller deck in here than I've used for measurements, then you can move the button further down so that it will close tightly or more. Or if you put a bigger deck in, you can move the bag up if you need more space for the bag. A bag design that I've made that you don't have that problem with is these wrap bags, where you basically just fasten the bag by wrapping this string or ribbon around and just tucking in the ends to keep it closed. And these ones can take a various different sizes of decks, because I make them big enough so that you can put thicker and thinner decks in here. And then this flap, depending on how wide the deck is, you can get quite thick decks in here as well, or wide, bigger decks in here, because the wrap bag is very forgiving in that sense. 2 more button bags that I made is this one, very glittery, with a little star charm and a glittery button. This one's quite long, quite large, in the sense that you can fit quite a big deck in here. However, because it's crocheted with 2 strands of yarn, it's quite sturdy and quite thick, so it looks bigger than it actually is on the inside. And then also just this plain lavender colored button bag as well, for those who likes a more plain and simple design. I myself I'm one of those who prefer quite simple designs myself. Then we have the two newest ones that I've made, and that's the first bags that I've made from acrylic yarn. I've usually used, all the others I've used cotton, and this one is 100% acrylic, and I've decided to call these ones Forest Fable because of the yarn being so foresty and mossy. So this is a wrap bag that I made with some beads and a tassel. And last but not least, I have a Forest Fable drawstring bag as well, with the same beads here. And this one can fit quite a large deck as well. Drawstring bags are very forgiving in that way. So yeah, those are the bags I've made so far this month. On YouTube, I should mention, yes, on YouTube I've been mostly watching this month. I wanted to shout out 3 different creators that I've been watching a lot of, and that I think 2 of which I think needs more attention. So I'm going to mention the more popular one first, and that's Tom Benjamin's Majors on Earth series. I've been watching them, and I think I'm about halfway through now, and I really like that series that he's making. It's really interesting, and yeah, I really like seeing and hearing new perspectives on tarot, and I really like how he's taking those majors down to earth and making them mean something in our modern day life. So definitely give that series a watch, if you're interested in that sort of thing. And now on to 2 creators that also have TarotTube channels that I've been watching and that I think make really lovely videos. And one of them is Ree of the Tarot Tree. She makes really lovely walkthroughs and first impression videos and VRs, all kinds of stuff. And I really love her energy. She's got a really, really kind and tender energy, and you definitely should go and check her out. So that's the Tarot Tree is her channel, and I will link it down below. And another channel that I want to shout out is A Year and a Day. She's a lovely lady living in the Netherlands, I think, and she makes really well edited, like beautiful videos about gardening and tarot and thrift store finds and all of those kinds of cozy little things. And I've really enjoyed basically all of her videos. She has a really soft, tender voice as well, and I just really enjoy her videos. So go check her out as well, and her channel will also be linked down below. So, books that I've been reading. I haven't read very much. I'm still reading some of the books that I've mentioned in previous videos. But one book that I started this month that I'm really loving, actually, is The Secret Lives of Trees by Peter Wohlleben? I think, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He's a German dude. And really loving listening to that book. I'm listening to it as an audiobook while I'm crocheting my bags. And really loving that book. It's so interesting to hear about all the different mysteries and all the magic surrounding trees, because honestly it's all magic, really. isn't it? I think it's so fascinating. And the next book I'm going to read is this by the same author, and that's the... Actually, hang on. It was The Secret Language of Trees. Yes, The Secret Language of Trees, and the next book is called The Secret Lives of Animals. Or was it the other way around? I can't remember now. I will put up some pictures here so that you can see which ones I'm talking about. But yes, so that's the book that I've been reading, and the book that I'm hoping to read soon. Still reading WTF is Tarot. Really loving it, but taking it slow, just reading a few cards here and there. Really loving it. Also still reading Tarot for Change by Jessica Dory, that I'm really liking as well. But like I said, just a card at a time every now and then. I'm not in a rush or anything. So yeah, those are the books that I have been reading lately. So next up, I think we should talk about my new Wishlist decks. And I only actually have 4 new wishlist decks this month, which I'm quite happy about. I'm sure I've forgotten one of them and I just haven't written it down, and it's gonna pop into my head after I'm done filming. But the first one, I'm gonna show the pictures over here, so that's why I'm leaning over. But yes, the first one is the Mara Lune Tarot. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. That's how I would pronounce it. But the Mara Lune is a really soft watercolor art, and really, I don't know, it gives me a calming feeling when I look at those pictures, and I'm really, really excited to get that in. I haven't ordered it yet because I can't decide between the version that's on the Game Crafters site and the version that's on the Make Playing Cards site. So there's 3 versions in all. The first edition that comes in a tin box, and the second edition from the Make Playing Cards site that has no tin box, but it's got extra cards with the meanings printed on the cards. And then there's the Game Crafter version, that's the second edition, has a printed booklet, comes in a cardboard box, and it's linen finish. The one on the Make Playing Cards site has a smooth satin finish, I think. So I'm leaning towards the linen edition on Game Crafters, because that one comes with the booklet and all of that. But when I tried to order from there, when I had decided, the waiting time for it to even go into production was really, really long. Like, they wouldn't even start printing the cards until July. And I just thought, that's insane. When will they ship then? So yeah, I've held off on that for now, and we'll see what I'll do. What I do. The second one that's entered my wish list, and I'm debating on whether to get it or not, and it's the Tree Oracle and Compendium. And I can't remember the creator's name now, but it's the same Dana O'Driscoll, I think. It's the same woman who's made the tree Tarot of Trees and the Plant Spirit Oracle. Yes. And she's made an oracle deck with eco printing, where you press the actual leaves of trees onto paper, and I'm not quite sure about the process, but they are absolutely gorgeous. I don't think I've seen cards this gorgeous ever. I really want them. The only thing that's stopping me I mean, because I really want the compendium as well. The compendium makes the whole deck because it goes through each tree and what it means, like, and what it was used for before, and like it's very, very thorough, the compendium that she's written. And the only thing that's keeping me away from this deck is that it's based on trees found in a very specific region in America. So only in a few states in the US. And if these trees, I mean, most of them can be found, or versions of them can be found here as well. But there are a bunch of plants and trees over there that we don't have here. And that's perfectly fine, I suppose, but I would have really, I mean, I'm aching for a deck of this kind, but made of and consisting of trees that exists all around me here. And obviously I can't decide what Dana O'Driscoll does. And obviously I can't, tell her to come to Finland and make them from our trees here. Obviously not. I'm not saying that. It's just the only thing that's keeping me away from this deck, and I might give in because it's such a beautiful deck anyway. And the fourth addition to my wish list is the Wandering Teddy Bear Tarot. Now, I've seen this before because I've been lurking on Tevada's website for quite a while, because I'm looking at getting the Luna Lapin Tarot, the proper edition, or the proper deck from the creator. And I've seen it there, and then I saw that Lisa Papes has it, and it was through Lisa that my friend Krista found it, and she's ordered this deck, and she told me about ordering it, and now I've been looking at it and I get such nostalgic 90s kids cartoon vibes from it. It's just squeezing my heart in all the right places, and yeah, so far I'm standing against it. I'm keeping away from it, but I have a feeling that I might give in, because it's just too cute. It's too cute. So now I think it's time to flip the camera around so that I can show you up close and personal the new decks in my collection this month, as well as my deck mods from this month. Well, the first deck I want to mention is the Bestiary, illustrated Bestiary by Maya Toll and illustrated by Kate O'Hara. So this one, I took quite a while to decide on getting this one for some reason. I had the illustrated herbiary for quite a while, but it was from the collectible box set edition, and I never really used it much, but I always wanted the animal one, really, and just decided to go for it, and I'm really glad I did, because this one is really, I really love the cardstock of this new Oracle edition. And now I really want to get the herbiary in the same edition, so I can connect, or put them together and have one big deck. I might also get the crystallary one, but I haven't decided on that yet. I really love this artwork. This card is a card that Krista pulled for me in one of her readings. I will link her Etsy shop down below so you can get a reading from her. I really recommend it. And yeah, I really love this deck, really happy I bought it and that it's in my collection now. Continuing on the Oracle decks, another deck that I got in this month is The Secrets of Wandwood, which was a Kickstarter that I backed, and I'm very, very happy that I did, because this deck is something quite special. It's made by Jackie and Phil Lovesey, and it's this special little fantasy world that they've created, that just the artwork is super special and cute and adorable, and the guidebook is really something else. I love the little stories that's attached to each card, and I just really, really adore everything that this deck has to offer. So if you ever have a chance to get this deck or any of the other decks that they've created, they have an Etsy shop where they sell their old Oracle decks, as well as some illustrated children's books, I think, as well, and a bunch of different merchandise with their artwork on it. And yeah, really happy I've got this deck. Such a beautiful little deck to have in my collection. Adore the artwork, and like I said, the guidebook is really special. So that was The Secrets of Wandwood by Phil and Jackie Lovesey. Next up, I'm going to show you two decks that were sent to me as a gift from my lovely friend Krista over at Adventures in Metaphysics. And the first one is the Roots and Wings Oracle. This is a deck that I have wanted for ever and ever, and now I finally have it, and I'm in love. I knew I was going to be. I haven't read much with it yet, but the few readings I have had, I really loved them. I love the simple artwork. I love the keywords that are on them. It's a beautiful little deck, and I'm so happy and grateful to Krista for gifting me this deck. She is such a special friend, and yeah, really, really love this deck now, especially since it's been hers. It makes it even more special, and she sent it to me in one of her homemade deck bags as well, and I don't have that with me now because this deck has been out on my desk ever since it arrived, so I keep the deck bag in my shelf. And yes, very, very happy about this one, and especially the mini edition. I did notice that the edges were a little bit uneven on it, so I took the corner rounder to it and re-cornered it, but unfortunately the corner rounder I had made a bit of a mess because it has the rose petal finish, so it's a little bit rough around the edges. But I'm hoping that the more I use it, the more that's gonna even itself out. The second deck that Krista sent me was this the borderless version of the Deviant Moon Tarot. And it's a bit special that she sent it to me because I've always wanted to try the Deviant Moon, but I've never had the guts to buy it because I've been a bit scared of it. And honestly, it's kind of made me have all kinds of different feelings looking at the artwork on YouTube channels and walkthroughs. I haven't worked with it yet, and I will tell you why in a few seconds. But yeah, so grateful to Krista again for sending me this. I look forward to see what it will do for me, and yeah, if it doesn't jive with me, I would happily send it back to you, Krista, as well. we'll see. But I am really curious about what messages I can get through this artwork. So the reason why I haven't read much with it yet is my newest love. And the reason why Krista sent it to me as well. Because I took a chance and I bought the Trionfi della Luna. And that's also, it's the newest love in my collection. One of the newest ones. I absolutely adore this deck. I love the old, like a vintage color scheme. I think the characters in this are funny and adorable and a bit creepy, and I love it. I love all of it. And I think that is what is making me open up to the thought about working with the Deviant Moon tarot as well. So Krista gave me her Deviant Moon because she knew herself that she was going to work mostly with this, because she also got the Trionfi della Luna. And yeah, I have a feeling that it's gonna be the same situation for me. But since I haven't worked with Deviant Moon at all, I'm still curious to see if there is a difference in the readings I get. And yeah, really, really in love with this deck at the moment. I can't get enough of it. So, Trionfi della Luna, very much one of my favorites this month. Now on to the big finale, really. The deck that has been my biggest love this month is also the newest deck in my collection, and that is the Victorian Fairy Tarot by Linnea Weatherstone and artwork by Gary Lippincott. This deck, the walkthrough and first impressions of this deck will have gone out just before this or just after this video comes out. I can't decide now. But yeah, I tell you the story about how I came about this deck in that video. I will link that up here so that you can see it if you want to. But basically this is an out of print deck that I never thought I was going to get my hands on, and it just materialized itself. It came up in my path and I snatched it up, and I'm so happy that I did. Oops, this artwork ticks all the boxes for me. It makes me happy just looking at it, and it has this terrific, like absolutely fantastic scent to the cards that the lady that had them before me must have stored them together with something really lovely. It's just, this deck is probably the most magical thing I own at the moment. I adore it with everything I have. I love it so much. And simply cannot wait to dig my teeth into the guidebook properly. I'm not going to show you all the cards. If you want to see all the cards, you can see my first impressions walkthrough, like I said. But yes, the Victorian Fairy Tarot is beyond a doubt my favorite deck that I got in this month. The favorites that I've worked with I haven't had a chance to work with this much yet, but it's definitely Trionfi della Luna, I think, as well as the Forest of Enchantment Tarot, which is by the same creator as this one, but a different artist. And I'm making a deep dive series of this one at the moment. We've just gone through the whole major arcana, and we are about to embark upon the minors next in the next episode. So, favorites this month: Victorian Fairy Tarot, Forest of Enchantment Tarot, and the Trionfi de la Luna. Favorite oracle, I must say, is the Roots and Wings. Definitely the Roots and Wings oracle. So these are my favorites this month. And yeah, so in love with all of these, to be honest. If I had to just pick one, I think Victorian Fairy Tarot takes the whole race. It's just been such a special moment getting that into my hands, and you can probably tell I'm so excited in the in the walkthrough that I'm nearly close to tears a couple of times. It's such a special deck to me. I really can't say enough about it. Yeah. So that was my May wrap-up video for this month, and really happy about this month overall. I feel like I've turned a corner. I've made the decision and plucked up the courage to show my face on YouTube. That's a big thing for me. I basically decided that I wouldn't, for many reasons. Partly because nobody in my closer circle, like my family and friends, didn't know about my tarot interest. But actually, that's a big memory. This month I've started coming out of the tarot closet. I've told my closest family and my closest friends that I am really interested in tarot, that I read tarot, that I collect tarot decks. I haven't told them about my YouTube videos yet. I might not. We'll see. I have told them that I am crocheting bags for sale, maybe. And they all seem very supportive and really lovely. And obviously some of them had their, the typical questions and preconceived notions about what tarot reading is all about, but I set them straight. Or at least I told them how I read tarot. We all read tarot differently, and it's all okay. So, thank you so much for watching. This was a really fun video to make. I am so happy that you're here and so grateful that you decided to watch this video all the way through. So yes, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for spring. I am grateful for the lovely decks that has come into my collection this month. I am just so happy right now with everything and how it's turning out. And I'm so happy that I'm putting myself more out there. I've been such a shy and hidden away person, and I'm really seeing a lot of benefits from just being myself and putting myself out there. So really grateful about that as well. Yes, I think that's enough for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Be well, my friends. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.